So I've had a few people ask me how my tires fit. And I remember when I was looking to get bigger tires on my truck, I did quite a few videos on it, and a lot of them I didn't think were super helpful. Most people said that they would rub. One person said that it wouldn't rub, and maybe it's just that tire, because these do rub a little bit. So what these are, these are BFG KO2s, okay, and they are they're 295 65 R20. Now, I really wish I had 17-inch rims. I offered a lot. So to me, this tire setup isn't like super ideal or super functional. But what came on the truck was just these like street tires. They're about 33.5 inches, because it's a certain like aspect ratio that they come on. And since I had 20s, it made the whole tire bigger versus like the 18-inch rims, where it's like probably a 32-inch tire or 31-inch tire maybe, or whatever. So the height was kind of a decent. I didn't add that much height on really, but I wanted better rubber to actually off-road and go camping in. My first choice, here's the issue I did have with these, with getting tires, is that the rims are really narrow. So this is a stock height. It's a 2022 Laramie, 4x4. No off-road package on it or anything at all, actually. Sorry, my mother-in-law's actually at this dealership buying a car right now, so she came over and said hi. And on a test drive, I left my place a little bit. The issue I had with this was that these wheels are pretty narrow. I wanted some 35-inch Falcon Wild Peaks. They're 12 and a half inches wide. Those don't fit because the rim is a bit too narrow. So this kind of tire wouldn't put them on. 35-inch by 12.5-inch KO2s, I can't recall if those would fit or not. I think those also wouldn't fit. Those are actually 34.5 inches tall. The 35-inch KO2s, right? These are 295 65 R20s. So it's a 35.1 inches tall and 11.8 inches wide. Is like the true measurements. So honestly, guys, I love the tires. It's a great tire. It is a little bit of pizza cutters sometimes, only because it's a bit narrow. The tire, it does line up flush to the body, but with my fenders, it gives it a look that it's kind of more sunken in, which makes it look kind of tall and skinny. I personally don't mind. At times I look at I think it looks kind of good actually. It does catch mud better when I'm off-roading, which is kind of nice, versus having a good 12.5 inches wide, or usually with other rims, they set out even further past the body, and then you just throw mud all over your truck. So, but let me show you how they fit though, because these do fit pretty good enough to where I'll do it again if I can't afford a lift, and stuff, and bigger tires before this rubber's worn out. But they do rub a little bit on the control arm. You can kind of see right back there. Just that's the rubbing. So it's not that bad. It did work through the powder coating and a little bit of the metal. I mean, the metal has some scratches on it. That's probably from when my tires were coated in mud, and I was, and then they had rubbed, I'm guessing. I don't see how rubber could ever wear down steel, But and the other side is, I think it's the same on the other side, I'm sure. So let's see. This one's a bit worse actually. It's a bit bigger of a rub spot. I don't know if it's because the sway bar is shaped a certain way. Over here is different, or just I tend to do more hard left turns is probably what it is actually. It's probably just kind of I just probably turn harder left more often. Now, it only rubs at full turn. Okay. Let me show you. Let me get the tire twisting a little bit. Hopefully you can hear okay. The wheels are, the car is on, so we can turn the wheel. Okay, all the way, Ella? Okay, so never rubs plastic ever. Okay, now turn it the other way, Ella, all the way. Yep, go left, all the way left now. Yep, go until it stops, okay? So clearance is good, okay? And then right there, it's not even quite, can it go more, Ella? That was actually a full turn. It barely touched, so it probably just touches sometimes on that side. Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead and turn it all the way left now, Ella. just barely, I mean, it barely is kissing that right now. Okay. And when it barely kisses, it's like a full turn. It's a full turn. If I back off even just like 2 inches on the steering wheel, 3 on the steering wheel, it stops rubbing. So I can feel it rubbing. The KO2s, I'm assuming, I can't recall the video that I watched that said that it didn't rub at all. Maybe it was a different tire that didn't have like that big sidewall, so maybe it didn't quite reach. Or maybe they had spacers and I forgot they had spacers on there to get them further out. But I know if you had spacers though, then you start to encroach upon the plastics, right? Because it's a further swing if you have spacers. So personally, I can feel, because this is kind of bumpy, when I am rubbing on that control arm, then I can feel it. I back off a little bit and I don't notice any difference in my turning, hardly at all. Because it's just like, it's only on the absolute maximum turn possible do I rub. So it doesn't affect my driving at all. The plastics are fine. If the plastics rubbed, I probably would have changed it. I hate the noise of plastic, the feel of plastic grinding. On the sway bar, I don't mind that much. And I definitely think though that the tires fit pretty good. One thing I'll also mention is that I've also never rubbed on the top either. I've done a lot of off-roading in this. Some of it is kind of higher speed, and the wheel travel is such that the extra height, it doesn't touch the top. If my shocks like take a huge hit in the front end, it doesn't hit the top of my wheel well. So no issues there at all whatsoever. The truck drives fine. It drives great, and I think it looks a lot nicer than obviously having a bit bigger tire. The truck is so big, it needs 37s really, maybe even 40s. I mean, 40s look incredible. 37s would look like, oh, it's a big tire, he off-roads, you know? Especially since I'm not leveled out or anything. But, you know, it does, having bigger tires adds a bit of ground clearance, which is always helpful. And yeah, I'd say, I mean, for sure, 35s are awesome. I think the Wild Peaks come in a size similar to this KO2 that would fit the rim. They didn't have them though, and they were like way out of stock. They're like months from coming in stock, which is why I chose the KO2. These are my second choice, purely because of the tread pattern, aesthetics. I just like the Wild Peaks. I think they might be a bit better in the mud based on the tread pattern. They might clear out mud easier. But I mean, gosh, these tires have been phenomenal. I have no complaints about them whatsoever. So, well, they suck in Utah's peanut butter mud, but all tires suck in Utah's peanut butter mud. So anyways, if you're wondering if you should get some 35s in your truck, I would say yeah. And you know, the reason why I had to put them on stock wheels, honestly, the truck is expensive, and I didn't have the money after I put you know, about 50 grand down on this thing to get my payment small. I didn't have extra money to also go ahead and do a lift and then do new wheels to get 17s and then get a different tire. I didn't have the time for that or the money for that yet. So I just did the minimum, which is just getting better quality rubber. And I've been in a lot of places in this truck. You know, I have one video that kind of shows some of that stuff actually that I just posted a couple days ago. But anyways, I think it's a good setup. I'd recommend the setup for sure. If you want to have a bit better rubber for off-roading but don't want to do a lift yet or get new wheels yet, the KO2s 295 65 R20 fits just fine. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please give it a like, give it a subscribe if you would. It helps me stay motivated to keep making videos about my truck and stuff like that, and kind of showing you guys the ins and outs of a Cummins. It's a huge purchase and not one that you should take lightly. So I'm trying to give value on the trucks, on my ownership experience, so that you can have confidence in your purchase if you choose to buy one as well, and as you're comparing other vehicles and stuff like that. So please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, have a great day. Thanks, guys.